Mills with Birch Gold Group. I'm talking with Floyd Brown here at Freedom Fest. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's good to be with you, Rachel.
Oh, it's good to be with you too. Have you been enjoying the conference?
This is a very interesting conference because you never know what a speaker's going to say.
Yeah.
And it's got such a wide variety of topics that you can really learn about really some things that you are off the beaten path. And if you're tired of the same old politicians talking, I don't think there's a politician here. So it's all about freedom and ideas, and it's a good conference. I've been coming for a number of years.
There's a lot of thought leaders here on precious metals, and I know you've done quite a bit of work on precious metals and hard money, and you know the value of it.
Well, I don't call it hard money. I call it money.
Money. Yeah. Money.
Because
instead of funny money.
But because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Money is got certain characteristics. My background's in economics. My degree's in economics. And really, gold and silver are the historic forms of money. And what we have in the U.S. today is really debt instruments, which aren't money at all. So I understand why freedom lovers, though, are often people that like real money because they're skeptical of the powers that be, and I'm one of those skeptics.
It's hard to look at what's going on in this country and around the world and not be skeptical.
Yeah, I think that the U.S. is really divided into two types of people. People that are drunk on entertainment and really don't care, and people that do care but are alienated by the political class that runs the country.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I mean, if you look at the way the political class works, it's easy to be very skeptical and very cynical.
But then you're left with the feeling of, gosh, what do I do about it? And
well, we have an incredible gift in America, and why they've tried to strip it from us, we still have it. We are citizens. Citizenship is a very important birthright that I got when I was born, and that is that I can vote in elections, I can participate in the political process, and I have certain inalienable rights that government can't abridge, and one of those is the ability to speak out and write, and that's why we're so active at westernjournalism.com, writing and speaking out on the ideas of freedom.
What do you think the future of the dollar is in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think to understand the future of the dollar, all you have to look at is the past of the dollar. Currently, what was a $10 gold coin is today worth, around $750. So you have seen historically, since the creation of the Federal Reserve about 100 years ago, a tremendous erosion in the value of paper currency, dollars. And I see that erosion going forward.
Right.
Which means, if it's lost 90% of its value in the last 100 years, it'll probably lose 90% or more in the next 100 years.
Yeah, that's so devastating. People talk about the collapse of the dollar, and then other people point out, well, how is that not a collapse, just in slow motion?
It is a collapse. It's a systematic effort by the political class to rob the saving class.
Yes.
People that want to save for the future, want to prepare for the unexpected events, that want to take care of their family, those people are systemically punished by the United States government and by the political class, and the money's basically robbed from them. They do it slowly over time through inflation, and sometimes not so slowly when we have big bursts of inflation, like may be just around the corner ahead of us.
It's interesting that you mentioned guessing the future of the dollar by the past of the dollar. Birch Gold recently had an article where we looked at what you would pay for an automobile 50 years ago versus what you would pay today, and then projecting that into the future 50 years from now. Imagine a car costing $170,000. And how do you save for a retirement where that's the cost structure?
I sat down with my father, who has had a really interesting career, and I asked him about his wages through time, and he told me, what were his wages in 1960, and what were his wages in 1965 and 70, and it's interesting. My father made a couple bucks an hour working as a welder in the 1960s, but if you actually take the time value of money and you look at it in today's dollars, he was making almost $80,000 a year. And if you look at it, that's basically what a welder can make today. So any of those dollars that he saved when he was young, they've been destroyed. The value of those dollars have been stolen from him.
Yeah.
It's really, it's immoral. It's a moral question in my mind. And honest money, honest weights and measures, they're both prescribed in the Bible and the Constitution. And we've allowed people to steal from us, and they do it by sleight of hand.
What are your thoughts on FATCA and the tax changes and the various changes that are occurring? Do you think those things are chasing people out of the dollar and out of U.S. citizenship faster than...
Yeah, like a lot of freedom-loving people, I've thought in the back of my mind, is there someplace else that's more free?
Right.
And I don't know that there is. I mean, yes, America's under assault. Freedom is under assault in America. But we are still the freest place, and we have the most impact on the political process. If we're going to reclaim freedom, it's going to be right here in America.
We have to fight for it here.
We have to fight for it here. And so that's why, I live in the United States, and I keep trying to proselytize and talk to people about the ideas of freedom and get them involved in the process. And I myself am very involved in the process because hope's not gone.
That's good. That's good. I come to a place like this and I really feel that there's a lot of energy here and a lot of empowered minds that understand what's going on, and they're showing up. As Freedom Works Booth says, politics goes to those who show up, and that's true. And a lot of people here have shown up.
I just did a session on California. We talked about California, had an extensive discussion about how bad the politics are and about how high taxes are, highest sales tax, highest income tax in the country, highest corporate rate west of the Mississippi. Yet only 18% of the people turned out in the last election in California to vote.
18% in California.
Yeah, 18%. So there's a lot of people that just aren't engaged. And if we can get people engaged and interested, we can take the country back. The problem is that people are too interested or too caught up in really things that don't matter.
Pane et circenses, bread and circuses.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I like anybody love a good football game, but some people are so into sports they don't think about their country, or they're into video gaming so much that they don't think about the country, or they're into the Home and Garden channel or some other thing. And maybe that's a reflection of the fact that we are a very rich country and we have a lot of free time as a result of it.
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot myself, and I think it's sad because in a free country you should be able to turn off your brain as far as government. The government should leave you alone automatically, and you should be able to focus on what you love and what you enjoy and what makes you happy. But anymore, with our freedoms being eroded at the pace that they are, we just can't afford to do that anymore. And the sad thing is, maybe conferences like this sort of turn it around, and a lot of thought leaders are headed in the right direction. But what about the person that's retiring in like 5 years? I don't know that that's going to happen in time to help them.
Yeah. Well, I think that if you're depending upon the government to be your solution in retirement, you're doing yourself grave injustice. The government, they may pay you a certain amount, but it's not going to be an amount that is a living amount. And
they will always resist those cost of living adjustments.
And basically, right now they're fraudulently changing the consumer price index.
Of course, they always do.
Which controls Social Security and some of the other programs. But people need to empower themselves. That means they need to read, they need to think, and they need to discover ideas themselves. And I have a lot of faith in people when they actually start to look at these things. They usually come up to some pretty good conclusions.
Yeah, when they really look at it, when they open their eyes and see the situation for what it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but sometimes it takes a lot of energy to peel them away from those football games. Mm-hmm. We've talked a lot about China and their demand for gold, purchasing, one Chase Plaza in Manhattan, which is the largest storage facility in the world, I think. What do you think about China's demand for gold, and maybe do you think
China is a country that I think looks a little bit more effectively at the broad scope of history. They're a very ancient civilization, and they understand that gold is money because gold was money in China 5,000 years ago, and it's still money. And the Chinese are doing what they can to protect themselves and protect their country. And I think that precious metals are a part of that. I don't fear the Chinese. I think that the Chinese need to be engaged. Frankly, I think that the U.S. government is the government that's out of control.
Yeah.
I mean, we've acted irresponsibly. We've acted as bullies. We've acted inappropriately with a lot of partners around the world. And I understand why some of our allies are frankly dubious about a close partnership with the United States, because we're not a good partner.
Yeah, they better be dubious. They better, and I think they are. With that huge fine that the United States imposed on PNB Paribas, the largest bank in France, for disobeying international sanctions that they never agreed to. This is the United States extraterritorially enforcing its own laws on other countries. And here this French bank is just sort of dutifully going along and paying it. And we compared it in a recent article to like the bully stealing your lunch money. And while you're the little guy on the block, you sort of give him your lunch money, but you plot for ways to eventually not be giving him your lunch money, and I think all of that is leading to.
Well, it's embarrassing that the U.S. government listens in on private telephone calls amongst Americans, but it's even more embarrassing that they're listening in to private phone calls between world leaders. I mean, the truth is that people deserve privacy. I don't care if they're a German or if they're an American. Mm-hmm. And, we have abused technology and really abused the good offices that the United States had. Frankly, at times recently, I've been embarrassed by what the Americans have done. I mean, I think in history, we have been a very positive force for freedom and quality of life around the world. But recently, as our empire has become threatened, we have really, I think, acted poorly.
I agree. And it's tough to say that because I am a proud American. I am very proud of my country. It's my government that scares me.
I love my country too, and I especially love the Constitution.
Yeah.
But the current political class, I don't think is reflective of Americans, number one. And number two, I think they're more concerned about themselves than they are the good governance of the country and the world.
Mm-hmm. How long do you think the dollar will last?
Oh, I don't see the dollar going away. I just see it eroding in value. It's hard to predict the future, but I think the best way to predict the future is to look at what's happened in the last 100 years, and it's gone down by over 90%.
So expect that going forward.
I would.
Yeah. All right. Well, Floyd Brown, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Good to visit with you.